You always help others whenever they need or want your help. You give your time when you have an important work at hand. You prioritize others over your self-interest. But when it comes to you, when you are the one in need, everyone just disappears in the shadows. The guys who were so desperate for your help are now nowhere to be seen. You're always there for others, sacrificing your time and energy, and in return, there is none left for you. In today's video, I'll tell you why you need to start being selfish. I always tried to be as much helpful as I could. I always put others first and myself last. I always ensured that I'm not ignoring anyone or making them feel neglected or dishonored, even if that meant sacrificing my own work. And often that would leave me exhausted and wondering if I provided my best. And in return, I didn't get that much attention and help as I had given. And that wasn't a problem at all because I wasn't expecting that. Helping without expecting returns. That was my mentality that time. It still is, but not all the time. Then I learned something that's perhaps one of the best things I learned. I learned to be selfish. That changed a lot, and I dare you to be selfish too. Now, for all of you battling your thoughts and some of you rolling your eyes, being selfish doesn't mean you stop helping everybody and start ignoring and getting rude to everyone. You don't have to do that because that's not our nature. You just need to limit the help you provide, limit it to the guys who really deserve it and appreciate it. Now, you might have seen a lot of preachers out there preaching things like help others without expecting anything in return. That's the true help, it's stuff like that. And that's really true, but not in all cases. Everything has its terms and conditions. For example, apples are good for health, but you just can't live on apples only. Yeah, you will survive on apples, but your life will be miserable. Helping without expecting something in return should really be your attitude, but it doesn't mean you become a free public Wi-Fi providing unlimited data at 5G speed. People will start exploiting you. That's the world. There is an old saying, make hay while the sun shines. People will make hay while you are shining and burning yourself in the moment. And the moment you hid behind clouds, they will start cursing you. It's a bitter reality. People don't value free things. They start taking that as granted, like we take sun for granted. When it's winter, we praise it, but when it's summer, we curse it. Your time and energy are important. You don't need to be a public Wi-Fi. Put a password with WPA security. Give the password to only those who deserve it. And sometimes shut your Wi-Fi down when it's time to recharge. Also, it doesn't mean you really have to expect a favor in return. There are times when you really should help others at your best. This is when you are helping animals, Mother Nature, and homeless poor people, some random guy in trouble, your good friends, and in most of the cases. But when it comes to people that are just there when they need your favor and disappears other time, the situations when your work is more important and the other person's work is not that important, when your time is getting more wasted, in such situations, you really need to consider whether you should provide your help or not. If yes, then how much? It's time you start limiting the help you provide to save your energy for yourself and stop yourself from being used. Don't let others take advantage of your innocence and helpfulness. Know when to offer your hand and when to show your middle finger. That comes with prioritizing the people that need your time and energy. Instead of being available equally for everybody, set limits. There are people who really need you, people who really care for you and will be there at difficult times. Then there are people that show that they need you, but they really don't. Your time and energy are important and should be used wisely. There are many occasions when we are asked for a favor or something that's not so important or something that we don't want to do. We might have our own work to do, but we just can't say no. We just can't. It feels so difficult and bad to say no. That feels rude, right? We say yes to all things without giving a second thought. We just don't want to feel guilty later and being considered rude. We just want to please people. We can't see them getting sad because of us. Stop being people pleasers, otherwise sell ice cream. Thank you, Mr. Bill. No matter what you do, you can't please everybody, so don't even try. Learn to say no. The fact is, we often think too much. We think about the things that don't really happen. If your friends or some person that you respect is calling you to a party but you have some unfinished work, just politely reject the offer. We often assume that the other person would feel bad. And yes, why won't he? After all, you're the chief guest in the party. No offense, kids, but it's funny that in personal life, we consider ourselves useless and dumb. But when someone invites us to a party or something, we behave like we are the topmost attention there. Right? Human mind. Put yourself in others' position. If someone politely denies to join you because he had some work to do, would you call him rude or arrogant? Of course not. And even if someone is considering you rude for denying some insignificant task, let him. Fuck off. The problem is with him. It's perfectly fine and even important to deny some task for your important work or just to have some free time for yourself. No one can force you to work for and according to them. If you want, you will, and if you don't want, you will not. Simple as that. We are blinded by the notion of being a good person all the time. All the teachings, lessons, and messages spread by so spiritual people to be nice to everybody and give service before self. Thinking and caring about others, it only works in an ideal environment. The world is not ideal, mate. You must know when to swim and when to float. Originally, we were built to survive independently, but as we evolved, we became more community-oriented. And that was important to grow as a group in the wild, but now when you are overdoing it, it's consuming your time and energy. It's draining you mentally and physically. If you're only caring about others, who would care about you? A very common example of this is when you fly in the plane. That beautiful air hostess instructs you to use the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping others in case of emergency. Start treating yourself like you treat someone as special. Start giving yourself the topmost priority instead of being the last person that needs your attention. You should be the first. In this world where everybody is busy in their works and have no time for you, be the person that gives you first priority. It's time you start loving and caring yourself because no one will. Don't forget that you're a human being too. You also need love, attention, and care. Your mind and body are working for you 24/7. Start taking care of them. It's your duty. Many of you might be lucky enough to have people who care for you, but sadly, they won't be there forever. Ever wondered why childhood feels so good? Because there are parents looking after us. They are taking care of all of our stuffs. We are in their care. There will only be one person with you for all of your life. That's you, the person you neglect the most. You really need to start taking care of yourself, seriously. While helping others build their castles, don't forget to build yours too. By limiting your energy for non-significant things and same people, you save a lot that you can use for yourself and others who really need it. By prioritizing the people that require your energy and time, you waste less of it, and your bond strengthens with the good people. People who care for you, like your true friends and family. Being selfish is a self-care that you neglect the most. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't take yourself lightly. In the end, you're all you've got.